Welcome in to the PHNX Suns postgame show, brought to you as always by our friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcast and leave us a 5-star review. We are hanging out in the dive bar tonight because the Phoenix Suns fell to the LA Clippers 109-113, but they almost came back. They almost came back.
They had 31 points in the first half. 31. The second half was insane.
They scored 9 points in the second quarter. 9, you guys. They were down, 39 points?
Yes.
At one point?
That's as many points as Alfred Payton has scored all of 2022.
And they closed the gap to 4. It was
4.
like,
Dude,
who'd have thought?
Ish Wainright went nuts. Aaron Holiday, when he finally got his ass unstapled to the bench, went nuts.
Oh my gosh.
This team continually surprises, right?
I tell you what, I'm done with Alfred Payton. I've been done with Alfred Payton. I don't understand why Aaron Holiday didn't get more love from Monty. I really don't. And if tonight doesn't show you that my guy should be playing so much more than he is, let me say this, so much more than Alfred Payton, then I don't know what to say. Monty's got this weird thing of holding on to guys that he brings in for whatever reason. Did it last year with your boy?
My boy? With the Walmart Devin Booker? Not my boy.
But good God, what has Alfred Payton got on Monty to keep getting these minutes for no reason? None.
Lindsey's not participating in this. If you're not giving Alfred his flowers, she's not doing it, Saul.
Are we supposed to give Payton flowers tonight?
I didn't say that at all.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
I agree that Aaron Holiday should have gotten more minutes than Alfred Payton. I agree 100%. And I don't understand. At first, I understood earlier on, right, when Alfred first got the nod from over Aaron, a handful of games back. I understood, okay, maybe this is one final check-in with Alfred. Like, are we taking Alfred into the playoffs with us? Are we taking Ish Wainright into the playoffs with us? What's our plan? I don't understand it at this point.
Well, after tonight, and I understand this is recency bias, Ish Wainright should be on the playoff roster, not Alfred Payton. Ish Wainright could have a moment like that where if you have to bring him in because of foul trouble, injury, whatever the case may be, he can go out there and maybe have 12 points in a 10-minute stretch and change things. Alfred Payton isn't going to do that for you. It's very obvious that he's not going to do that for you. So, overall, I don't understand the obsession with Alfred Payton. I don't. And my guess is we may be done with it after tonight.
Well, I feel like if Monty had subbed Aaron Holiday in earlier,
yes,
we actually may have won this game.
We would have been down by 30, not 39.
Right. So Aaron Holiday finished tonight's game with 16 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds in 18 minutes. Alfred Payton had 12 minutes, and he had 2 points, 1 assist, and 2 rebounds.
He was 1 of 7.
And it's not even the shooting part. I feel like it's the playmaking part that is the biggest thing, because Alfred
100%.
plays good defense when he's out there. But the playmaking is so important, especially with the guys who were on the court tonight, because they can't play make for themselves the way that some of the starters can.
But you would think that would be the difference as to why he's playing more than Aaron Holiday. But Aaron Holiday plays just as good defense as Alfred Payton does. And he's a better offensive player all the way around. So I just don't understand what is going on. It has to be something that we just don't know, because the visual test, the eye test, does not match up to what we're seeing. And it hasn't matched up since day one. Ever since Aaron Holiday got here, you could tell he's significantly better than Alfred Payton. But for whatever reason, there are skeletons out there that we don't know that keep getting Alfred Payton minutes. And it's unbelievable. I hope it ends soon, because I don't want to see Alfred Payton in a Suns uniform anymore. I'm just done with it.
Look, I know plus minus isn't the end all be all, right?
But
Elfrid Payton was a -3 tonight. Aaron Holiday was a +30.
Ish helped with that though.
Sure, but Aaron helped himself too.
Yes.
With that.
Aaron almost had a triple-double in 18 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yes, Ish did help that, but Aaron was a big part of that. This is not like he had 2 points and nothing else like Elfrid and had a +30. I mean, the eye test isn't the only thing that's suggesting what we saw tonight.
Yeah.
I mean that the advanced metrics look like it too. This is not just one thing.
Also, shout out to the Suns for or at least that last group of 5, for actually making this a respectable game. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of fun down the stretch. I was like, man, are these dudes about to come back like in epic fashion? Like,
It would have been really awesome.
close. There was a couple shots. If the Clippers would have missed, it could have turned the tide. And so it was fun. I'm glad they didn't get blown out like they did in Memphis and in OKC. It was a little bit of a different turn. But that's also because they played 2 guys that didn't play in those 2 games, Ish Wainright and Aaron Holiday. Play those dudes. And Ife.
Yeah, I mean, I was impressed with his defense too.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have the greatest offensive night, but he had 5 assists. You know, he had a couple steals in there as well. It was just the energy. It was infectious what those third string guys actually did tonight. They came out and played like guys that wanted to prove they deserve to be in the league and deserve some minutes. And that's what you want out of that group. They showed life. They played hard. And they almost pulled a Clippers against the Clippers. I mean, this LA team's been known for coming back from down 30 plus, and the Suns almost did it to them with their C team on the court.
It was really funny. I saw somebody on Twitter say, because in the first half, probably in the second quarter, we were just kind of poking fun at ourselves on Twitter, and someone was like, don't worry, just wait for the last 5 minutes of the game. Like fourth quarter Suns will show up basically. And then I was like, okay, but they low-key kind of did, just maybe not how we expected it or who we expected. Yeah. But it was kind of funny to see.
Like Saul always says, when you have Ish Wainright and Aaron Holiday.
That's it. You're always in there. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm impressed that they didn't give up. I will say that. The first half of this game was atrocious. Like I was like, I'm not like, guys, we can't be doing this.
You should have heard the post-game rundown for what our show was going to be before all that stuff happened in the second half. It basically was like, hey, bye. Okay, bye.
But I am glad that they were able to regroup, figure some things out, find some energy, and actually get themselves back into this game. Yeah. That is impressive to me.
You know, Brittany Price said also Cam J being 3 of 13 is still a little concerning. I'm going to say this, Brittany. Aaron Holiday makes a huge difference because he frees up everybody else because he's also a scoring threat on the offensive side of the ball. He'll take it aggressively to the basket. Elfrid Payton cannot create shots for other people. So it's easy to play up on those guys. And Cam Johnson was struggling a little bit because he's still trying to get into his flow. And when you're playing with guys like Chris Paul and Devin Booker, your shots come a little easier than they normally do. I firmly believe Cam will snap out of this little bit of a funk before we get to the playoffs. It is a little concerning, but I'm not too concerned.
I'm going to call it. He's going to shoot 40% from 3 in the playoffs. I'm not worried about Cam Johnson. Of course, it takes a little bit of time for him to, get in a groove after being injured. But give me that. He's going to shoot 40% from 3 in the playoffs. Yeah,
I think it's just a matter of time.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of time. How long that takes? Hopefully, sooner than later, for him to get his legs underneath him, for him to get his rhythm back, and be fully comfortable and in physical shape, like game shape.
Yeah.
Because he said after Friday's game, right? Or Sunday's game? He started Sunday, didn't he?
Who?
Yes.
Cam.
OKC.
Yeah, in OKC.
Yep.
He literally said he was gassed in the second half of that game. And people were pointing to it in the comments. He was there with his hands on his knees at moments throughout that game. It's natural for that to happen with the injury that he had and the fact that he couldn't even walk. So it's just going to take a little bit of time, but we'll be okay.
Yeah, Cam he's got enough experience under his belt now. He understands it's going to be a process. Monty is probably telling him the same thing, that it's a process. You'll be fine. You just got to get your win back. It usually takes probably 5-6 games for you to fully feel comfortable out there and get back into a groove and a rhythm. And so I expect by maybe Sunday, Cam will play some minutes against the Kings and everything will be just hunky-dory.
Yeah, just go play like Ish Wainright. You'll be fine,
There you
Cam.
go. I'm really excited to hear what Gerald has to say because I really, the whole time I was like, are you going to ask him? Are you going to ask Monty? Are you going to ask Monty about Elfrid Payton and Aaron Holiday? Did you ask him?
I did.
Yeah! Let's go.
And what did we get?
The poster quote, I'm kicking myself for not playing him in the first half in regards to Aaron Holiday.
At least he admitted it.
I asked it in the most...
Can you say it again?
I'm kicking myself for not playing him in the first half.
Okay.
Him being Aaron Holiday.
Him being Aaron Holiday. And I asked it in the most diplomatic way possible. I said, Monty, I just wanted to ask about the backup point guard minutes because, Aaron had a great game tonight. When he first got here, he was kind of the guy. And then the last couple of weeks, it's been Elfrid. So what did you see out of those two tonight? And that was kind of where he started. He praised his juice, his shot-making ability, which was at a high level tonight. And he brought up something that we were talking about during the show, how he always praises Aaron Holiday's willingness to take shots. And that's something that, he's been consistent with since he first got here. He brought up he thought Elfrid Payton was solid for them tonight. He felt like he said he drove.
The same game, Monty?
I mean, to be fair, I brought Payton into it and I kind of served it up in a way that was like, okay, let's hear your thoughts on both here. He's not going to throw one of his guys under the bus.
Nor should he.
No, he should not.
But he did. He said he drove a lot. He had trouble finishing was the issue for him tonight. So it's one of those things where I'm hoping that this is just last gasp. Let's see what Elfrid Payton has to offer. But tonight, you look at the box score, Ish Wainwright's a plus 36. Aaron Holiday is a plus 30. In limited minutes, Holiday has 16, 7, and 6 off the bench in 18 minutes. You can't run and hide from this anymore. Elfrid Payton can't be getting minutes. And it shouldn't matter in a playoff series because neither one of these guys are going to play when it gets chopped down to 8 or 9 guys in the rotation. But God forbid there is an injury or foul trouble or whatever it might be in a pinch. It would be nice to have some reassurance that it's going to be Holiday that they turn to and not Elfrid Payton at this point.
You'd be proud of me. I brought up plus minus while you were.
Did you really?
Yes, he literally brought up the same stat.
I'm beaming right now.
So from your perspective, Gerald, do you think that we've asked this question a bunch of times, but I'll ask it a little bit differently this time. Mm-hmm. Is it still figuring out who that final roster spot is, or do you think it is Aaron not being fully up to speed with the Suns' book of things?
That's kind of my speculation. I don't know that to be fact. That's just kind of the only thing that I can really think of at this point that would be holding him back, because he has mentioned a couple times, and this was the last time we talked to him was a couple weeks ago now, but he had said, it has been tricky getting to know the ins and outs of the playbook because there's so much. And Monty brought it up, even the guys like Biz that they got mid-season don't know all of the many wrinkles that they have to each and every set. So I think it's just because there's so much in the playbook that it's hard to catch on to that. But at this point, the results speak for themselves.
Listen, I don't care if Elfrid Payton knows every nuance of that fucking playbook. If he can't execute it at a high level, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, you got to ball. Mm-hmm. You got to play ball, and you got to excel on the court and give your teammates the best possible chance to win. Elfrid Payton doesn't do that. Mm-hmm. He just doesn't. And I'm not trying to, smash the guy or anything like that, but it's true. We've seen this for a whole season, and he has not been good. He just has not been good. Shamet hasn't been good. He's shown a couple flashes whenever I'm not watching the game, but it doesn't exist unless I watch. So fuck it.
Look.
So you're the problem.
I am the problem. I am the problem. But I'm telling you this, If we're hoping that Shaman is going to bail us out in the playoffs, we got more problems than me watching the game. I promise you
He's
that.
shooting 39% from three since the All-Star break. I'm just saying.
Jesus.
I'm just saying, coming on at the right time, Saul.
We need to look at what the percentage is on games that Saul watches
It's
versus
gotta
what he
be.
doesn't.
It's got to be like 60% to like 15.
It's probably
It's bad.
It's nuts.
Look, I obviously don't know all the nuances of the playbook, but when you watch it, it looks like Elfrid Payton's instinct in most situations is to just drive to the bucket. And he's not very good at finishing. It's not just today. That's kind of been his MO. So if that's what you're gonna do, I'd much rather see Aaron Holiday just execute that and live with that. But like you said, hopefully we won't have to see any of these guys play in the playoffs, because that means something's gone off the rails if you're seeing your third or fourth string point guard in games.
Absolutely. And we are about to hear from Aaron Holiday, so I will be back in a jiff.
All right, sounds good. So right now, while we wait for Gerald to come back, let's go ahead and name our king of the game. Of course, we got to give it tonight to Ish Wainright. He had a career high 20 points, finished with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. Ish Wainright was doing it all, and especially there in the fourth quarter, he was one of the biggest reasons that this team was able to close the gap and get it this close.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The way he performed tonight, you could see why he's beloved by his teammates. He plays hard. Tonight, he showed the outside touch at a very high level. I mean, he shot very well from the outside, looked forceful, definitive. His decisions weren't like all over the place. He was pretty concentrated, and it was great to see him play well. In these minutes, he deserves it. A lot of these guys that come off the bench, hey, they're supporters of the team. They play hard in practice. They get their shots up. They get paid a good salary, but they don't get a lot of shine in prime time. And tonight they had their moment, and they all showed out. And so that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, that was some good Ish tonight.
That was some good Ish.
But with the thing that always strikes me as weird with Ish Wainright is he has such athleticism, but it does not look like a guy built like him would have that athleticism, right? He had a dunk tonight that just, kind of caught me off guard the way he's built. But I love his energy. I love his hustle. I love his heart. And those are the kind of guys you root for when they get those moments. And we were cheering, I think, harder at times tonight that we even did during the Lakers game, watching Ish, pull off some of this stuff, because it's just good to see a guy rewarded with that. And the bench was reacting just like that. The starters, the guys that were out tonight, everybody showing that same kind of support that Ish shows for them when he's sitting over there.
I mean, who doesn't love a good storyline like that, right? He's here on a two-way. He's not somebody who's a big name, you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't had the opportunities necessarily to really shine. So anytime that those opportunities are available and you go out there and you do something like he did tonight, that's something that's really easy to root for, and you want to root for it. And of course, he's on our team. Gerald's talked numerous times on this show about how Ish Wainright is a stand-up guy, how every time he's at practice, he makes sure to say hi to all of them and to chat with them. Like, he's a good dude. He's super easy to root for.
That's what I keep hearing. That's what I mean, I don't know him, but I that's what I've heard too, is that he's a fantastic dude. I know that he's got some relationships with people that we know, and they all rave about him. They say he's one of the coolest guys you could ever meet. So it's always good when you hear about people like that, and then you see them get rewarded for all the hard work that they do put in, and they understand their role too. Like, they listen. I don't care what happens when we get to the playoffs. The bench and the bench support are probably more important than anything else on that court, outside of the actual play. Because when you're on the road in hostile environments, sometimes that bench is the only thing you can rely on to keep you going when things are going rough. They hype you up. They keep you into it. They give you positive encouragement. That's what those guys do. And this entire team, we've seen it in the pregame huddle, how they all get into it. Even Chris Paul, like the staunch, hardcore Chris Paul from back in the day, even he's getting into the whole, jolliness of the pregame. He's having fun. And that's what this is supposed to be. And the more fun you have, the better you play. That's just that's how basketball is. These guys are having fun. I'm glad that they came back in this fourth quarter because we didn't have to hear a bunch of bullshit in just all over Twitter about how this team is falling apart and they're setting bad habits, whatever. But like these guys deserve minutes, and they actually came through with those minutes, which is going to encourage Monty to not have to panic and play the starters more than he should down the stretch.
I just have been very impressed with Ish's attitude. He reminds me of a combination of an Allen Williams on the bench and a PJ Tucker on the court. A kind of guy that's going to go out, do the little things, isn't afraid to put a body in a guy to try to get a rebound. But then when he's on the bench, he's going to be your biggest cheerleader. He's going to be the guy that's like up and cheering and getting you going. Like Saul was saying, I'm happy for Ish that he kind of got his moment in the sun tonight.
Yeah, I agree completely. So congratulations, Ish, named our DraftKings King of the Game for tonight's game. We're going to take a quick break because I got to tell you guys that golf season is in full swing. So get in on all the action on the course with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet $5 on golf's first major and get $25 in free bets for every birdie bison. Now I said bison.
Bison DeChambeau.
I don't know why his name is so hard.
Bryson
DeChambeau sinks in the first round. That's $25 in free bets for every birdie Bryson DeChambeau sinks in the first round. DraftKings Sportsbook is a top-rated app with tons of ways to bet on golf. So if you are really into golf, that's the app that you need to be on in order to gamble.
Yeah, I feel like they should make you pay $25 though if he has a bogey. Like, let's make this real interesting. Like, no?
I mean, what are the? I would need to see the odds. I would need to see the odds, Espo, before I agreed or disagreed to that.
Not the way Augusta's playing this week. I promise you, you do not want
and
that.
not the way Bryson can melt down if he goes for a triple bogey on the back.
Yeah, that's what makes it interesting.
No.
Well, then I feel like it needs to be higher on our side.
Yeah, we should.
Than more DraftKings
$100 for a birdie. We owe $10.
There you go. That I can
agree with. Every bogey you owe $1. Every birdie you get 25.
Yeah.
Let's make it a little interesting here.
I mean, that could be fun.
I'm changing
You're
DraftKings
changing all the rules.
Well, if Espo ran a sports book, it would go bankrupt. I promise you that.
Every bogey that DeChambeau gets, you have to buy Johnny a bloomin' onion from Outback Steakhouse.
Outback.
From Jack in the Box.
That would be something.
Those are fire anyway.
So if you want to get in on some of the action, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code PHNX, bet $5 and win $25 in free bets for every one of Bryson's birdies in the first round. Join the action for golf's first major with the code PHNX only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now that is 21 and older only, Arizona only, gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only, minimum $5 minimum deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
I got Tiger winning at plus 5,000, so...
Is that our pick of the DraftKings pick of the week?
Sure, that could be the DraftKings pick of the week.
Huh?
Plus 5,000. Well, at least it was plus 5,000 yesterday.
4,000 this morning.
4,000 this morning. Nice. Yep. So,
I mean, the sooner you get in, the better odds you're gonna have. Is what you're saying, basically.
Yeah. If you're a conspiracy theorist, that would be the best storyline that you could have come out of the Masters. Is if Tiger, after his leg, basically they said they might have to amputate it. And then he comes back and wins the Masters. Yeah, that's a hell of a story.
You want to know how great DraftKings is? If he doesn't make the cut, you get insurance. So if you opt in on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, you can get insurance if Tiger Woods doesn't make the cut in the first 2 rounds.
Boom.
Oh.
Win-win.
Shane always brings the knowledge when it comes to gambles.
So mortgage payment on the plus 5,000?
No.
Okay.
No. But yeah, please do get in on the action. Use that code PHNX at the DraftKings Sportsbook app.
Action.
Download it. Let us know if you win some cold, hard cash. We had a super chat from Chris, and they said, the Clippers don't know what to do with this tape, so I call this a win. That is one of the biggest takeaways from tonight's game, is that the Clippers do not have any extra film on the Suns in case they do meet in the first round of the playoffs.
I mean, but the same thing can be said both ways. Listen, like the Clippers, they benched all their guys basically midway through the third quarter. That's when we made the run. Like, we got to say it what it is, right? It's like this game was useless for both teams. It really was. Like, they've already solidified. I think the Clippers still have to play. I think they have to win one more game to solidify their spot, or maybe tonight clinched it. to be in the 7 or 8 seed.
They're the 8th. They can't move up to 7, and they can't fall
drop.
down.
Yeah, so they're the 8th. So if the playoffs started today and there was no play-in, we would be playing the Clippers. But
there is.
But they have to play the Timberwolves.
Yes, that'll be the 7-8 match.
That'll be the 7-8 matchup. So that'll be fun.
Okay, so MCG Blue in the chat said, what's the rule on injured players getting a ring? Basically like Dario.
He'd be on the roster. He'd get
Yeah,
one.
you're still on the roster, right? Like you don't have to play in a game in order to be eligible.
Torrey Craig got traded mid-season last year with the Bucks, and he got a ring for the Bucks. So
Right.
yeah, you'll still get one if you're injured.
Okay, just making sure. There we go. There's the answer to that one. All right, gentlemen.
You know who I think should get rings?
Who?
Us?
Yes. I'm not even kidding. Like every employee that had to sit through especially the last 10 years. The last 10 years was just downright awful outside the last year and a half.
So Lindsey and I should get rings.
Pre-bubble to like 2012. Anybody in that time frame, you get a ring. You get a ring.
So Saul, are you going to create rings for Lindsey and I? Like, because we know we're not going to get one from Sarver.
First of all, do you really want me to create a ring?
Yes,
for
I
you?
do. You have immaculate taste. I mean, you're wearing British Knights.
I could create a ring.
Yeah, but you can't just create it. You also have to create it and pay for it. That's the kicker. Because that's what a good owner would do.
So Brandon needs to pay
Brandon
for it.
Spano, if you're out there.
Or Spano, however you want to say it. Or Tempe.
But that's how it would work in an ideal situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, so are you ready to take your shot?
Let's do it. What was my take?
All right, it is time to take your shot, presented by Arizona Department of Health Services. COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are also now eligible for a booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location near you.
It was a little iffy, but he came through. And FA, congratulations on your first bucket in the NBA. He was a little shaky at first. I was a little worried about my man. I was like, oh, man, he definitely does not look like he should be out there. But once he hit that 3, it looked like he calmed down, settled into the game, got his legs back under him, which is understandable. He's probably extremely nervous. He's probably hyped up, you know what I mean? And I really like what I saw from him today. He's not going to contribute in the playoffs. We know that. And who knows if he'll be on this team past this season. But you can see that the reason why they brought him up and wanted to give him a shot just to see what he could bring to the table. And he definitely gives me right-handed Dragic vibes to a degree. A little bit of herky-jerkiness. He's got a nice little shot. I was happy to see Ife Lumber get some minutes tonight. So congratulations to him for finally getting some run.
Future Summer League MVP. That's my guess.
COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are also now eligible for a booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location near you. So Ife finished in 12 minutes with 3 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and a steal. He was a plus 22 in those 12 minutes. That's not bad for his first legitimate stint of time in an NBA game.
He played the entire fourth quarter. Like, that's hard to do in your first game ever out there. Like, we talked about Cam trying to get his wind. Like, my man didn't even have a chance to go sit on the bench for like 30 seconds to get that second wind. It was just like, go, 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 go. And they just happened to make this huge run during it. So he had no time to think twice about anything that was going on. I'm sure he had some dry heaves out there because that's what you do when you play that hard. You're probably going to dry heave a couple times. I've done that a couple times.
I mean, and he had said too, when we first got to talk to him after his first practice, he hadn't practiced in 5 weeks, basically. Yeah. He just didn't have access to be able to play basketball. So this is now, a week and a half since he's been here, maybe somewhere around there. And he's out there playing a whole quarter of basketball.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It's pretty impressive.
For sure.
All right, gentlemen, anything else from tonight's game?
No, but I'm just kidding. No, nothing.
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing.
Okay, so we have 2 options here.
Ooh, the red pill or the blue pill? Let's go.
We can do a quick segment and wait for Gerald to come back, or we can do a producer surprise.
Let's do a quick segment.
Yeah, the producer surprise also involves Gerald.
Okay, so it needs to have Gerald. Okay.
Hurry up, Gerald!
So our next segment, Monty Williams had something really fun to kind of say about Devin Booker in the pregame presser. Espo, you want to tee this up?
Yeah. Let's just play the video, and then I'll talk about it after that.
Probably shown a bit more humility this year. Yeah. Book thinks he can climb Mount Everest, and he's just one of those guys that has an unreal belief in himself.
So Monty obviously talking about Devin Booker and that confidence that we all know that Devin is an amazing specimen, but he's not climbing Everest, right? But he thinks in his mind he can. So it made me wonder, for you guys, and I'll answer too. And Shane, if you want to jump in behind the Mac, you can as well. But irrational confidence, we've heard about it. What would be the thing that you guys have irrational confidence about that you think you could do, but you probably shouldn't?
Ooh, that we probably shouldn't?
Well, that you may not be as good as you think you are.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm not trying to tout my own horn, but I'm going to.
That's the talent.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
But no, I actually think that no matter the time of year, I can match up with anybody from 3. That's just my irrational confidence, and it's probably
anybody.
Well, I mean, not NBA.
Okay,
players,
okay.
A non-professional player. A
I had to
non-professional.
make sure that it wasn't that irrational.
So
I mean, that's fair.
So the reason why is because I've always felt like I was always a great shooter. I don't care what anybody says about that. And down in Tucson, they had the Tucson Summer Pro League, and they needed like an extra person to participate in the 3-point contest. And I hadn't shot a 3 in like 3 years, and I was like, fuck it, I'll give it a go. And I damn near won the thing without even shooting. I got a couple warm-up shots, and then I went. And I hit like 13 in a row at one point, and I was like, damn, I'm freaking pretty good. And I lost by like 3, but so I have irrational confidence when it comes to 3-point shooting.
I think I have irrational confidence when it comes to like arts and crafts. Like I'll see something in a picture and be like, I can make that. And then I'll go buy all the stuff, and I get halfway through and I'm like, I can't make this. And then it just sits halfway done in my house. I think that one's mine.
Podcast hosting? I would probably be like dancing, I just irrationally, like, you hear the music, you start moving, and like I'm like, yeah, I'm good, and then I see myself and I'm like, that ain't good.
You're like, why didn't anybody tell me? I look like
No,
that.
I have told him.
Seinfeld.
I have told him. You know when Espo's feeling it because he has one giveaway, and I don't know why he does it. I brought it up on the show before, but it's the hands. He always does this. He always spreads the fingers, and he's like, he does this every single time. He's like in his happy place. I'm like, why are your fingers so spread apart? I don't get that.
I get it, because if you're not like, if you don't know exactly what to do with your hands,
You get it.
I'm literally explaining it. If you don't know how to dance professionally and what to do exactly with all of your body parts, what else do you do with your hands? They end up just kind of being like here. Like, where do you put them? It's literally at Talladega Nights. I don't know what to do with my hands.
You have to spread your fingers though.
No, you don't have to.
Usually
but if that's just your natural
people,
thing,
hey, people are right here. Hey, just keep it nice and easy.
I don't need it.
I'm
This
just
guy's
saying.
like,
I ain't Hutch or whatever, Hitch, whatever that movie is.
Yeah.
Don't drop that on me.
10 and 2 right here. Just
No,
keep right here.
no. Why is that got to be every fat white guy's got to be 10 and 2 right here?
Because then you start
Yeah,
wielding your
what's
hands
wrong with-
and
what if I
injuring
wanna do
people with
this?
your fucking fingers. That's
What
why.
if I want to do this, huh?
have you ever injured somebody?
No,
Never.
no, not with my dancing.
The jazz hands.
my jazz hands have not hurt anybody. All right.
Oh my gosh, Shane, do you have one?
Well, does it count if like I have experienced myself not being good at it because I've tried it? Like I have my irrational confidence in not being afraid of the dark when I'm out in nature. If I'm like in the woods, I'm terrified.
Oh.
I'm terrified. There's a mountain lion behind me and it's getting closer by the second. I have the most irrational fear that every time I go on a hike, there is something following me.
Why I can kind of follow that a little bit. I do have irrational confidence swimming. And it almost got me killed one time.
Yeah, I feel like that's a terrible irrational confidence to have.
Like
I'm
I was
just
in the
saying.
Gulf Coast and I was like kind of away from the coast And next thing I knew, I looked up and our spot was like 400 yards to the right. And I was like, how did I drift this far? And I tried to get back to shore and I damn near drowned. It was one of the scariest things of my life. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That would be a tough one. That one would be terrifying.
Why do I feel like Shane out in the dark in the wilderness, like running, looks a lot like me dancing? Like, I'm just flailing all over the place.
We should just cam him up and have like a, what's that movie? Blair Witch Project?
Send him out into the wilderness.
Send him out to the woods by himself.
I think another one for me is driving. I think I'm like,
that's a little terrifying as well.
Confident about my driving.
Noted, everybody know in here, do not carpool with Espo as the driver.
To drive because I'm aware of my limitations and ways. But when I'm in the car by myself, I'm like, I got this. I don't got this sometimes.
No. I also think an irrational confidence of mine would be just as a woman, I feel like you have to always be aware of your surroundings and things of that sort. I have an irrational confidence that if I ever found myself in a sticky situation, I would just like murder somebody. And I feel like
it's the eyes.
It's not. That's not a great irrational confidence, Liz.
Well, I
There's
feel like
times where
what else
I'm
am I
walking
gonna
out
do?
there too, and I'm like,
but it's either that or being terrified all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I don't think that's irrationally confident because I'm pretty sure you'd be pretty good at murder.
I mean, and I don't mean legitimate. I don't
There's
mean
a difference between being good at murder and being good at murdering somebody that's catching you in the dark when you don't even expect them.
Self-defense, and I should have used that word instead.
Yes.
I have an irrational confidence in my ability to self-defend myself.
I can murder somebody. What? I really hope that you don't get to test that theory out.
No, I should have used the right word. But you guys knew what I meant.
Lindsay, just wear that beanie. It'll brighten up any dark space.
Do you guys like my new beanie? Espo just poo-pooed all over it. So, Saul, do you like my new beanie?
It is very bright green. For those of you listening, imagine highlighter green, and you got the color.
Yeah. I mean, you're 0 for 1 in the beanie, so I'm not a fan of that, but I do like the color.
I got 6 new beanies this week, you guys.
And one of them is Mike Wazowski.
I'm really excited. Mike Wazowski is low-key an amazing character. He really is, though.
He is.
Underrated for
like you're
sure.
wearing him on your head right now.
All right. Well, Gerald's back, and that's really all that matters.
Finally, we can end the show now. Good gosh.
Okay, so Gerald, you got to talk to Ife, the man of the hour.
Yes.
And Aaron Holiday too, right?
Aaron Holiday, Ish Wainright, and Ife.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so Ife was, we asked him about his first basket in the NBA, and he was saying it was really nice not just to score the 3, but to be a part of that comeback with the team. And just be on an NBA floor and feel that support from the guys when he hits that shot. And, you look over to the bench and all of these guys are standing up and cheering for a guy who just got over here a couple weeks ago. So that's pretty cool. Ish Wainright was talking about how the best part of his night, his career high night, was, on those corner threes, hearing Devin Booker and the guys from the bench telling him, let it fly, let it go. And he said anything can happen as far as, he is competing with Ife Lundberg, a guy who he was on the floor with for this comeback. And, he was saying no matter what happens with our contracts, since we're on the 2-way contracts, we're all brothers. Like, this is a brotherhood. We're all competing, not just for roster spots, but for playing time. Every drill that we do, they're always competing. So I know that we have the tendency to look at it like, who's going to get that final roster spot? Like, is it going to be Ish? Is it going to be Alfred? Is it going to be Ife? And these guys just kind of look at it differently in terms of the bond that they've been able to form. And then we asked Aaron Holiday about, staying ready because his minutes have fluctuated over the last couple of weeks. And he was saying it's just basketball at the end of the day. Like, once I get out there and you get in the flow of the game, it's not hard to contribute, which is kind of very counter to what we've seen from Elfrid Payton lately, because he does have a problem getting in the flow of the game and contributing. So that's a good sign. You got to hope that maybe they're just keeping him off tape so that opponents don't have any film on him. But I guess we'll see as this kind of competition for that final roster spot really heats up.
Anything else?
Why'd everybody look at me? Like,
Wait,
Well,
when you
you
looked at me,
usually
I was
ask-
like, was that a question? I don't know. I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, like a follow up. And just
Well,
leaving the floor open if you guys had any follow
I
ups.
just looked at my point guard. I'm like,
That was all.
Lead us to the promised land.
Anything else, Gerald,
Neon
before we
beanie.
wrap up this show?
No, I just want to shout out Mike Wazowski, who died for Lindsey's beanie tonight.
Nice. Second reference.
Did you hear them say that? when
I
you
walked
came
in and I heard
Okay.
Mike Wazowski's a great character.
Right?
You're right.
Thank you, Gerald.
hello.
Or
in
are
the-
you making fun of me?
No, I was saying
can't
that's
tell.
what I heard. You're not wrong, but
Okay.
that's what I heard walking in. So
Hello in the chat does say it's a
So you're
very
making fun of me a little
I'm not
bit.
making fun of you. I was just saying that's what I heard when I walked in.
hello in the chat did say it is a very Nickelodeon slime color beanie.
It is. Maybe that's why you're hot too.
It's not. I wear beanies all the
I
time.
know, but maybe it's time to let the beanie go. So
No.
your head can breathe and you're not so hot all the time.
It is
No.
95 degrees here.
Right?
All right, well, we've got a new partner in the house. We are excited to welcome OG's Brands into the PHNX family. OG's is one of Arizona's first scratch-made cannabis kitchens and is dedicated to creating innovative and memorable cannabis-infused products that flavor life's journey. The quality of their products stem from the combination of accurate dosing and an amazing flavor. I have not tried these, but I've smelled them, and they smell like they would taste like heaven. The orange creamsicle smelled so good.
I would imagine that's one fun kitchen to be in. The scratch kitchen for OGs.
Yeah.
You got
I
to
could see
sample,
that.
right? When you're cooking, right? When you're
Yeah.
making things.
Yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things. So it's not one size fits all. Whatever type of thing you're looking for, they've got you covered on it. So be sure to check them out. If you are interested in trying the amazingly delicious varieties of flavors that OG's Brands has to offer, go to ogbrands.com. That's OGEEZ brands.com to find OG's near you. We're going to round out this show
Let's do it.
with another producer
Favorite
surprise.
segment of the night.
Higher education.
Oh, geez.
All right, guys.
It's gonna be good. I'm ready.
So have you guys seen Hot Ones before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you probably know the reoccurring segment they do called Explain That Gram.
Oh,
Where they pull
no.
up an old Instagram picture, and for some damn reason, you guys do not delete any pictures.
No.
So
No.
I'm not worried about this.
I
at all.
picked one
shit.
picture for each of you. It's
Oh,
times.
no.
It has the date on it, and I have the caption. You're going to explain to me
this
what
could
was
be
going
anything.
on, what the caption means, and everything in
Oh,
between.
shit.
So
I love this. Shane, look at you go.
since Lindsay's
This is a shit surprise.
since
I love
Lindsay's
this.
not scared, we'll start with her.
Yeah, Lindsay
Yeah, let's
obviously
start with
keeps
Linz.
the grid
Yeah.
looking good.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
does.
All right.
She's very particular. about her
From
brand.
January 11th,
Yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
This is Lindsey Smith outside of a Costco with the
Okay.
caption, "Out looking for a hot date, winky face. Hashtag got my church socks on."
Okay, do you want the full tea on this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I'll give you guys some Lindsay tea, okay?
Oh, man.
Oh,
Spill it.
My college boyfriend and I had just broken up like maybe 2 months prior to me posting this picture.
Oh, man.
So the caption was throwing a little bit of shade,
Mhm.
right? Like
Mhm.
low key, hey, I'm single again.
Yep.
So just putting the vibes back out there.
Yep.
And I've always worn ridiculous things, like clearly. I have a highlighter color beanie, a Nickelodeon slide beanie on now. And I wear beanies in the summer. I don't care.
Question.
Yes.
At Costco, though?
Yes. I don't care. Like, I literally have no problem. I wore
Okay.
a wolf coat onto the show.
Well, right.
Like,
but that was just stylish. We can agree
but I'll
on
wear
that.
these things in public. So I had mismatched socks on. I had turquoise loafers
I meant
and like
more
a
about...
sweatshirt and
I'm not gonna lie.
stuff.
I'm kind of with hello on this a little. You said
What
shade
hello
2
say?
months later. Like,
Well,
I
okay.
thought
That was
you were
very...
gonna say like.
that's respectful.
I thought you were gonna say like 2 days later, 2 hours later.
Well,
or,
it's
you know.
like, you know, when you're in college and you break up and then it's like, well, we'll talk for a little bit and then we won't talk for 2 days and then we'll hang out. and then we'll go see each other 3 weeks later, and then we're still. It's one of those things.
But did you?
This was when it was finally to the point where it was like, okay.
This is like official because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, now I'm broadcasting that I'm
Right.
available to everyone.
But
there
did
was that
you-
weird
At
interim
Costco.
period.
Did you typically go pick up men at Costco? That's the
No.
part I don't quite get here.
I just happened to take a
She
picture
just
outside of
explained
Costco.
it.
Okay.
Like
okay.
that had nothing. Costco had nothing to do with that.
And if you don't find a hot date, at least you get free samples.
Exactly. Yes. So
So. Okay.
there you go.
All right, we'll go.
That's it.
We got a post-breakup gram.
We'll
from
go
Liz.
right to left because Gerald just needs to be last.
Oh, no.
I'm literally,
No.
it could be
I'm a little
anything.
scared
No, there was one that I wanted to do, but we'll save that for a rainy day.
Oh, good.
So Saul's is next. Saul in December 2nd, 2012. The caption is just 2012.
Did you take this on the surface of the moon?
It has one light.
It's so bright.
Yeah, so I was hella drunk, and I went to the top of a bar in Colorado, and I was having drinks with a friend, and I looked over, and there was Luis Gonzalez.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, shit, one of my favorite D-backs.
Mm-hmm.
And so we took a picture together with my cell phone, and it was a flip phone at the time.
That's
Had
a pretty
the
good
flash on
picture
for
for
sure.
a...
2012?
Yeah.
It was a flip phone?
Yeah, mine was. Sorry, I wasn't fucking dope like you, guy. I don't know.
The iPhone had been around for how many years?
That was a pretty good
3,
picture
4?
for a flip phone.
That was pretty impressive for a flip
So,
phone.
yeah, so I took a picture, and yeah,
You look very happy.
It was.
Why
it
the
was
caption
good.
2012 though?
I don't even understand like why. I don't even understand that at all. I can't. I have
That's
no.
the confusing part. I think.
But
to
That's
me.
why I pulled it.
But why one like? Like one
Impressive.
person like that? Like, come on, man.
Well, back in 2012, like when
Nobody was really on the gram in 2012. Not too many people.
I'm trying to think of when I was on. Yeah, I wasn't on the gram until probably
Wait,
after
bring that back up one more time.
2013.
it was still real artsy. I feel like because you had an Instagram filter on that too.
Uh-huh.
I did.
Yeah.
Huh. I have no reason for it.
I found
I
it
think
and
it's a caption. That,
yeah,
it's
no,
really the
that's
caption
literally. I
that
found
makes
it
this
and I
one the
lost
best.
my shit because it was like December 2nd, 2012, and then it just goes 2012.
I think that's what it is.
Just want to let you guys know this is actually 2012.
I can't give you shit because I'm preemptively worried about what's on deck.
Yeah, that's why he was a little suspiciously quiet too. He's like, "What the fuck's coming my
I
way?"
genuinely don't know what's gonna.
just like Gerald, Espo had tons of choices. Some of them were the same picture multiple times with different captions, but I settled on this one. Picture from December 12, 2014, the caption reading, Tim Kempton and I wore the same shirt tonight, a moment I've been waiting for since 1993. Hashtag Suns versus Pistons, hashtag Orange Friday.
Okay. So we legit wore the same shirt, which is funny because I'll spill a little tea. TK and I had beef, all right? So it made it even funnier. And Tim Kempton during the 93 playoffs was injured, and he had a bet with Cedric Ceballos to see who could wear the more ridiculous shirts on the bench. So when he and I were wearing the same shirt, I said, all right, I got to take an asinine photo of this for multiple reasons. So there's my
Can we
explanation.
bring that picture back up again? Because I love the angle. You look like a Jeff Dunham puppet.
Yes.
I'm actually wearing a bow tie, too.
Oh, it's so true.
I'm pretty sure John Bloom took this photo. It's either Paul Coro or John Bloom took the photo.
That's
so,
amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, here we go.
All right, Gerald, let's go.
Gerald, I just want you to say thank you to me because this could have gone many different ways.
could have-
Oh, man,
I'm
so you're
sure it
setting
could have
me
been
up
bad.
to where I need to go find this other photo.
We'll share it. We'll share it.
Oh, that's a big tease.
I'm concerned.
I'm excited.
Okay, that's not that
March
bad.
31st, 2014, Gerald posts on Instagram saying, I see your hashtag Man Crush Monday and raise you not shaving until the Suns lock up a playoff spot. Hashtag Suns
Ooh.
grow.
I remember this.
How many years
Can-
did you grow that beard?
Can you cut back to my face right now? Here it is.
You never shaved.
No, and then it was too
From
late.
then to this.
No,
It
I
only
did
took,
shave,
what,
but
8
that
years?
was, I think, what year was that? Because I think that was the year that was like
2014.
yeah, that was the 48 win season when they were like really close. I was like, okay, they're gonna do this, and then Eric Bledsoe kept getting hurt, and they didn't do it. But
You've been,
Yeah,
you've
that
been doing
was-
some eyebrow work too, huh? I'm a man that's had to do that too.
Oh, I don't.
Put it back up. Let me
Good.
see one more
Okay.
time. Please.
Oh yeah.
Those glasses, though, those had to go after a while.
You literally look so unpleased.
The angles
Like
are
you're
not
so upset
great.
about having to be taking this picture.
Where is this picture taken at?
That was at my job just out of college. It was a company called Moby Squad, and I was a social media manager for 30 small businesses throughout the Southwest area. And about 8 months into the job, the company went under because it was a terrible company. So
Were you
Awesome.
covering the Suns at that point?
I was not full time. I actually started going to games and stuff like 2015, midway
Okay.
through the season.
So that was right around the time we met. That
Yeah.
that version of me met that version of you at the arena. All right.
I was there too.
Yes.
Was yours in 2014?
Yes.
I have a picture. You should have pulled the picture of me and Kevin in 2014 from that same season. That was the first time. That season was the first time I shadowed a Suns game. Kevin was a sideline reporter at that point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's when I was like, okay, here one day.
it's a reoccurring segment on that show. It'll be a reoccurring segment here as
I'm
well.
very worried. I gotta
This
go
is
purge
funny.
the gram.
Check your gram.
Quick, let's go.
Rub that shit clean.
I'm not even going to
Kyler
lie.
Murray
There's
the
a couple
shit out
that
of
I'm
my
surprised
Instagram.
you didn't take from mine.
There were a lot of options, but
Yeah.
it was specific to tonight's 5.
You know what? Shane thinks this is fun until we do it to him.
I know Shane's
Emma, do you
TikTok.
have that photo? No, I'm just kidding.
That's adorable. That was fun, Shane. Thank you. That was like a little walk down memory lane
It
too.
was.
How precious. What a great way to end the show. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you. Tomorrow we will be here 2 p.m. a live show on our YouTube channel. Be sure to come hang out with us, chat with us. We'd love to see you there. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter at Lindsey Smith AZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourguet. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Just like your hands during a pandemic, make sure to keep your Instagram feed clean. You never know who's looking at it. Ahoy, hoy.
PHNX.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsey, Gerald, Espo. Saw past the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me, I'll always rep the family. Rally in the valley like Dan G, no plan B. Always on the job, my team move like the mob. Turn the beat on, I throw it down like DA on the live. Best combo since KJ Marley and